Hoyan and Holden are here. The question though is, are they top tier? Today, we're going to take a look at them now that they're in game. So first we have Hoyan. She is extremely powerful and I'm really excited to see her because she looks amazing. Really love the weapons, love the blindfold, and I believe that, yes, you can see those pretty eyes. Look at that. So let's take a look at what she has here. In terms of dupes for our whales, she's got crit damage and crit rate. The crit rate's actually the one that's more important, and it's a much later on. So definitely a unit that you are going to want to whale for if you're pulling for, because 5 out of 5 is good. So let's start off with the first skill, which is her S3. That is pretty much the bread and butter of her kit, and that is execution right. This is why you're going to want to pull the character. So when you pop this S3, she will consume 50% of her HP, and then she will deal 450% damage to a single enemy. For every 10% of the max HP lost, this is going to increase the damage. They changed this. So in the video, it said that this was going to ignore defense. So this no longer ignores defense, which by the way means that their video is wrong. So that's funny. So this is worse than what she was in the CBT that we saw her in. This is still pretty good. Slap this on like a good Keen Eye set. She's going to be nuking. Very, very, very strong attack. Now, it is weaker than what we saw as well. It's only 450% rather than 480%. You're definitely going to spam this. So I've seen some people talk about time weave set combos as well with this. Now with the fixed Halloween. So we could see this be the case because if you get any proc, then this is immediately back up. So you could just keep spamming it nonstop. Executioner's right, definitely an interesting one. Let's see the rest of the kit here. So then we have Disillusion, and holy crap, I feel like I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh with the amount of text here. When Hoyan's about to die, she'll apply Soul Ward. Okay, so this is actually Veronica's buff. So the HP cannot drop below 1, and immediately use her ultimate on the target that attacked her. Oh, wait, this is actually really funny. I think it was random before. So now she's going to be able to say, hey, nice Ramoka you got there. Thanks for attacking me. Now I'm just going to kill you. This effect has a 4-turn cooldown, okay? When Hoyan defeats an enemy, she will revive a fallen ally based on the HP reduced from the target defeated and apply Revive's ban to the defeated target. Okay, cool. So this just pretty much means goodbye to Beotin and Sonya's if you have them on your team, and then the enemy picks this. That's going to be really annoying. After each completed trigger of this passive, after using the execution right or reviving allies, she will apply a stack of Fleeting Glance to herself. A Fleeting Glance is a 40% undispellable buff. Dang, okay. Increase the attack buff provided. Okay, so she's definitely an interesting unit, right? So how I see this is that you run something on like her like count, and she'll still get like this big nuke, but then your turn comes around, you have like no HP, you activate the count, you get an even bigger attack buff, and you would have the attack buff from the Fleeting Glance, which would be like 40%. You go through, you nuke someone with the S3, you get a revive, you heal back to full HP, and now they're just crying. Finally, we have her S1 here, which is just a basic double hit, and it also wounds. The wound is actually kind of sleeper. I mean, she's probably not going to be alive. You either won or lost the match by the time you get to the point where you're slapping S1, but now you can just get a wound on. I mean, this is okay into any bruisery type comp situations where she isn't getting bursted down. Where I see Hoyan being really strong is she's extremely powerful when you have control of her, because you can also just target and make sure that you're hitting the units that you're going to kill and get the revive off. But also she's really good against other like cleave type comps, because now all those type of comps like the Ramoka comp in the arena, you just say, okay, cool, I survive, and now I just kill your Ramoka, and I'm also reviving the ally that you died, so I'm back to full HP, and now I'm going to cast another ultimate, I'm going to revive. Yeah, so this is a really, really powerful character on like defense, and she's also going to be really good in RTA. I expect that if you care about PvP, you're probably going to want her. That's going to be my guess. Next up, we got Holden. Now, Holden is a unit that we had nothing about, so we only knew from a quick blurb that he was some sort of defensive scaling bruisery type unit, but now we get to actually see it. This is really, really, really strong, and we definitely wanted a defense scaling type character because there's some really good sets in Doki Doki that we can use him with. Right off the bat, when we take a look at his S3, it is overloaded. I see attack down, I see res, and it's also a AoE. It does multi-hit. It has a pretty low multiplier at 180%, but this is of his defense, and each attack has a 50% chance to dispel a buff. Oh, it has a double chance if you crit. So it's pretty much a 100% chance, meaning that you don't need to run any accuracy on this guy unless you want a little bit. to help with getting past effect resistance. Attack down and res down, very, very toxic combo, mostly if he has other kind of like CC in his kit, because this is what made Marvel really strong, was that he also supported other characters that otherwise normally didn't get off their triggers to have that chance. So yeah, nice. Also, it looks like in his video, he was only 110 speed, but now he's 120 at full 6-star max. And this is including his S1. He gets an extra 15 from skilling that up. So he's actually a pretty fast character. 120 is not slow at all. It is not fast, it's just in the middle. So yeah, this is pretty good stats overall. Then he has the S2 here, which deals 480% of his defense. That's a huge multiplier with a 100% chance to push back the target and 100% chance to maximize their cooldowns. Dang, that's a hit. Ooh, ouch. That is really, really good. It is a single target hit, but that is going to be a big, big nuke because you're probably going to have a bunch of defense on this guy. And then we have his S1. So, okay, it has a little bit of a weird thing where their coding has made the name say this, but anyway, he has the execution mode, which this is a passive, which is for every 500 defense, it will increase the counter rate chance that he has. So he has a built-in counter set by 10%. Also, the damage result, so this I assume just means all his damage, is increased by 5%. So that's really crazy because I did the math for this and he's able to get like to 2,400 defense roughly while also still building crit rate and crit damage on him. So this is really, really funny because he'll have just a built-in 40% crit rate chance. And then that's not even including like having any defense subs at all. That's just like one defense percentage right side and a plus 15 left side piece. So you could very easily get 50% and have an additional 25% damage bonus on this guy. And he already has some pretty good numbers on like this S2, which will absolutely nuke people. And like, I guess for an AoE, 180 isn't very, like, it's not low. So this guy's actually going to hit hard, mostly if he's critting, and he's encouraged to build crit anyway. And then you don't need to build effect resist. So he only really cares, and he's actually pretty fast base wise. So this is going to be very easy to build character, I feel like, mostly if you've been sitting in Doki. Also, this S3, it hits 3 times and it has a 20% chance for each one to apply defense break. This is really, really, really nice. Right away, the first thing I'm thinking about is like, where do I use this guy? And I think PvP, this guy is going to be really, really, really good. He's decently fast, so you never know if you get into him, if he's going to be fast enough to outspeed you and then just all of a sudden disrupt you into some weird kind of like shenanigans with the attack down and res down. Or is he going to sit there, be on like a really tanky set with like an alicorn or with immunity, and then you're not going to be able to control him, and then his turn comes around, he does this, and then he's pushing you back and one-shotting you. And then every time that you hit him as well, there's always the chance that you get that, oh my god, is this correct my posture type of situation where he's just going to come and slap you and kill you with this. And sometimes it doesn't even have to kill you, it just has to slap you, and then you're like, oh crap, I'm already dead because now I'm defense broken, someone moves, and even at that point, the supports are like killing you. This is really strong. This is an insanely powerful passive and S1. Oh, and you can actually combine him with Chloros. Yeah, this is actually a really good partner for a sustained Terramaton, and Terramaton with Chloros, because what you do is Chloros already can protect himself with the S2 that he has, which reduces the damage that the boss deals to him. And then because this is hitting 3 times, what happens is you get hit and he stabs him 3 times, and that's helping your Doom toll. And in that point, you can probably just build him in a more sustain-oriented Terramaton comp, put him in with like a Hell Kit or something, and then what you can do is just out-sustain him and let the counterattacks kill. It's going to be a slower clear, but it's probably going to be very, very safe as long as you can make sure that you're cleansing off those defense breaks. Probably the only weakness of Holden is that he is a defense scaling character, which is a blessing and a curse because most people are going to carry defense break, which means that he will have a chance to be affected damage-wise when he gets defense broken. But yeah, the fact that he's a red defense scaling unit is very good. He's going to be good in Terramaton. He's going to be good in Aurora. He is also going to be really good in PvP, I expect. This guy's just really flexible. In my opinion, Holden's actually a lot more versatile, probably even arguably better than Hoyan. I think Hoyan probably has very specific instances where she is just significantly better. I think in PvP, she definitely will have more of that, oh my god, I lost to a Hoyan type of situation. But I would say that generally, if you are just wanting a character that's generally better for your account, this is the guy. It looks like he has some pretty interesting things here. Yeah, so he has a crit rate on his P2, and the accuracy, like just a little bit of effect accuracy, is good enough. Now he does have defense in his S2, but to be honest, you probably want to max this out. So this is definitely a really, really, really expensive character. Oh, he has crit rate as well on his S3. This guy's he's a very expensive character to invest into, but if you invest into him, his stats are really, really nice. He has decent speed. He's a defense scaler, which means that he can be used on like Swift Rush and also whatever the name of the defense set is. Like, this guy could easily replace Kloss and Teramaton as your primary DPS and then build sustain comp around him. So this is actually a really good character. In my opinion, out of the two, I would actually recommend Holden for most players, unless your account is in a very specific situation. Well, I do think Hoyan has a really, really strong situation where arena defense, she'll be very powerful, and RTA, she'll be very powerful. So will Holden. So I don't think that you would really want to choose her just for that instance. Now, the one big caveat here is the fact that for Hoyan, you only need to max her S3, get her S2 up to around here for the extra crit damage, compared to a character like Hoyan, who seems to reward you for going all in on this guy. Because this is the type of character where you're going to come here and you're going to be like, oh crap, I really, really want all of this. I really want all of this. And I really want all of this. So with that in mind, this guy's a very heavy to invest in character, but you will get rewarded for heavily investing into him. If you just wanted to skip to the end just to figure out who you should pick up between Hoyan and Holden, my recommendation is actually going to be Holden. This guy is holding your bag, holding your wallet, and holding your nuts. And he just seems to be probably going to be one of the new top tier units that you are going to see everywhere in both Arena, RTA, and most likely you are going to use him to save your Teramaton run. If you can afford it, I would recommend both, but Hoyan's more of a PvP only character, and mostly with how many P lattices that you are going to want to invest into this guy, I don't know if you're going to have the ability to build another DPS on top of that, so you're probably going to want to at least hold tight for a little bit while you try to rebuild up your resources on your account. But I will test him out as soon as he comes out tomorrow, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys all then. Bye.